Hello and welcome to Talking Good Games. Just finished West Ham United 3, Southampton 0. Mike, well, we didn't have to wait long. We come out of the traps looking bloody good. And we got our deserved opener with Mario of all people. It was almost like a carbon copy of Burnley's first goal, really. Cut back, good work by Kiati, good cut back. Smashed it home.
Yeah, I thought it was really, what made it for me as well was Arnautovic just dragged their entire central defenders very close to the goal. Mario peeled off, stuck at the edge of the area, and I know it's a shock, but a nice ball from Kiati and he found him well. I thought he had over-egged it a little bit because he sort of slightly miscontrolled it at the edge of the box, but he got the shot away between defenders' legs, and well done. Yeah, great start.
Just what we needed, but it was also what we deserved.
We did deserve it. We started well. We had to start well. Whoever was going to score that first goal was going to be in the ascendancy, and whoever conceded that first goal, their heads were going to dip and going to find it very difficult because both teams are scrapping for their lives. But it was deserved. I thought we came out with good intent. We came out with good intent against Burnley. It just didn't work out, but today it did. And I thought quite ironically, well not ironically, but funny enough, in the same way that if anybody had seen Lanzini's goal for Argentina, it wasn't from a dissimilar distance out, Mario. So if you didn't have Lanzini there, then certainly Mario showed that he could be an able deputy.
I know Mitch missed a decent chance. He got put through and goal. I think it was Masuak who played him in. Missed a chance, and even at 1-0, you thought, oh, that's the kind of things we need to be doing. Kind of take things we need to be taking. We missed these against Burnley in backfire, but well, he technically missed his next chance. Lovely ball. I don't know who crossed it for his second goal. I want to say Mario because of the cross. He got his header, good save. He got the rebound. 2-0 in. You have to say it was a deserved 2-0 lead.
We were very good up to that point. We just kept on pressing them. I was struggling really to see a clear-cut save for Joe Hart as well, which certainly indicated that we were in the ascendancy. I think it was the header, wasn't it, first of all, from Arnautovic, and then at the second attempt he put the ball away, but he certainly looked the difference today, and we thoroughly deserved it because I thought we controlled everything. And also it's worth pointing out, we've sort of skipped the point where Antonio was taken off early on in the game, and when that happened and Antonio went off injured, I was really worried. Of course, Fernandez came on and replaced him, but at that point when Antonio was taken off, I thought, well, hold on, this isn't great, because it did seem like so much of Moyes' game plan was centred around Antonio and Arnautovic.
Well, we got the third right on the stroke at half time, but the whole first half, Mike, before that third goal, that was a West Ham I've not seen all season, actually. The way we were pressing, especially, every single one of them, that players tonight, was left to right, front to back, press, and Southampton didn't know what to do with us. And where did that West Ham come from?
I don't know. I wish we'd seen it earlier. You're absolutely right. We played with an intensity which I've not seen this season, I don't think, in that first half. Our midfield, which always has looked really porous and slightly lightweight, it didn't at all today. I thought Mario had a very good first half. I know he made one and scored one, but I mean, it was like, but he was putting himself about a bit, and they just looked like a unit. Do you know what I mean? They looked like a team in the first half. Everyone seemed to know where everyone was pressing and to back that press up, and they pressed as a unit, as a team, which, as opposed to individuals, which they've done before. So yeah, I thought that first half, and Southampton were poor. It is worth pointing that out, but still, we haven't played. We made them poor by playing with that sort of intensity, I felt, anyway.
Well, after 5 minutes, you'd be forgiven for cursing a Miami trip because of Antonio's injury, and Arnautovic went down as well for a brief period. But overall, you have to think, well, actually, as Mike said, they've come together and they were working as a team today, so maybe that Miami trip is actually just what the doctor had ordered for them, apart from Antonio. But the third goal, did either of you two see it? Because I know you two slinked off at half time.
I did.
Did you see it? I mean,
yeah.
What a cross, and that finish is just a guy in confidence. He got 3 for Austria in the international break, and
I tell you what, I thought that was clearly the pick of the three. I thought it was one of the best goals we scored this season. If you look at it, what a brilliantly little chipped cross, wasn't it? Wasn't even a little chip.
I don't even think it was chipped. I think it was whipped. I think that come in with pace, and it was quite deep, his cross. It was in that area, in between the 18-yarder and 6-yarder, the keeper can't come for it. You come for that, you're in trouble.
It must have had a hell of a... If you're right, the reason I thought it was chipped is just because it dropped. So he must have had a hell of a lot of backspin on it then.
Yeah,
the technique on that cross, whether it's whipped or chipped, right, is phenomenal. But equal to it is the technique for the finish. Because to keep that down into the bottom corner like that volley, which he puts away for the goal, Arnautovic, was just phenomenal. How many players have you seen sky those?
Well, Charlie Austin got a layoff in the second half to his feet, and he kicked up onto his knee.
His knees are gone, as we know, because David Sullivan said so. And he was proved right today. And of course, as we saw, we got the result today because, of course, the security barriers were up. So, we did very well, didn't we? Really?
Second half, there was nothing to write about in the second half until the very end. Creswell's volley almost outshone Arnautovic's one. I mean, just tell you what, I'll give Moyes a little bit of credit for his subs here, because at 3-0, he took on the two players I would have liked to have seen him take on, Hugo and Cullen. And then, although it was a bit boring, I think we did what we have to do in the second half, and it's exactly what we should have done. I'll give them credit for that. It's not pretty, but the job was done in the first half, and the second half was all about just don't concede. And that bit with Creswell at the end, that's the type of thing I want to see when you're 3-0 up. Go for the audacious effort. The game's won, just go for it. I mean, what a hit it was, but finished 3-0, deserved 3 points. Where's it gone right today, Gonzo? Normally we talk about where's it gone wrong, but where's it gone right?
Well, I do think the intent, which manifested itself in the pressing in the first half. We didn't press as much in the second half because obviously Moyes was in a position that is a Moyes wet dream in many respects. Moyes would last. There we go. We won't go into any more detail. But I mean, if Moyes had a perfect scenario, it would be for his defence to keep a clean sheet and have something to protect. Well, he had a 3-goal lead to protect. Southampton were never going to win that 4-3. They were never going to score 4 goals. So for Moyes, it was absolutely perfect. So they stopped pressing in the second half. But I do think in the first half, the pressing was what really put us on the front foot. It was always going to be, as I keep repeating myself, the team that scored the first goal. It was us. And I think he will feel that he's been vindicated, Moyes, because he will feel that he's set the team up to attack. And you know what? If you look at Burnley in the first 20 minutes, if you look at us today in the first 20 minutes, it's hard to argue that we didn't set up to attack. And in Arnautovic, we've got a very, very good player, and I think he contributed an awful lot to the difference. As I say, I worried when Antonio went off, but actually I need not worried because it was Antonio that because it was Arnautovic that was a real difference today.
Individual performances in a second, Gonzo, get your thinking cap on. Mike, where's it gone right for us? Apart from the fact the Saints were awful, and they were awful, but we can only beat what's in front of us.
I'll tell you what, before we kicked off, the noise in the stadium, everyone had got the memo, support the team memo, right? Because it really was phenomenally loud. The atmosphere in that first half, and it's easy to support a team that were winning, but even before we'd scored, would you agree? I thought it was like one of the best I've heard in there. Obviously, there's a lot of doubt because of what happened at the last game, etc. But the supporters really got behind it. It seemed to really raise the team as well. As I say, though, the intensity we played with in that first half, even when we didn't have the ball and when we had the ball, we really looked to be getting players. There were options when people were looking to cross. There was 2 or 3 players in the box suddenly rather than one. People were making forward runs. People were, you know what I mean? We were playing like we should be playing. We've got the players. We just don't. Previously, haven't really been playing with the intensity. Today we managed to put both together.
I think we had the right players. I think we had players in the right positions today. There was some a little bit out of position, like Creswell. Zabala is not a wing back naturally, but the difference Masuaku makes is unbelievable. Having someone that can hold the ball up, take players on, and get down the wing. And I think Gonzo's right. We had an attacking attempt. I think he's sort of pivotal to having that. I think we can. I'd like to say we could maybe agree that we can't have Lanzini and Mario in the same team together to an extent. I think today we saw the best of Mario today. If Lanzini was in that team, they almost hinder each other. But that was perfect. I think Antonio's injury was almost maybe a blessing in disguise for David Moyes because, well, to kick off the individual performances, I thought Fernandes was superb today. He was unbelievable today when he came on. It's very difficult to come on in a game, but it's even more difficult to come on in a game so early when you probably haven't warmed up. You probably just sat in your seat for kick-off, and you sat there, and all of a sudden, just get warmed up. You're going, oh, where am I going? Antonio's well, and he's not like Antonio. One's pace and power, the other one's a bit more technique about him and stuff. But he was superb. I thought the Southampton were really. They were god awful today. It's unfortunate. I do like Southampton as a club, and I hope they're fine. But when you look at that team, there was no threat. But I don't think Joe Hart had anything to do except catch a couple of crosses. You know, it was that bad on Joe Hart and Southampton, I suppose, that every time the ball came in the second half and he crossed it, everyone was cheering. It was like, oh, hey, Joe Hart's actually caught the ball, you know. But delayed. But individual performances, Gonzo, would you like to pick out one or two to praise?
Yeah, well, you stole my thunder a little bit. Masuaku was a great one. I called for more end product. He gave it today. You're absolutely right about Fernandes, who came on. I was worried about the loss of Antonio. Obviously, Fernandes came on. He gave us something which I thought we would probably lose with Antonio going off. So I've got to pick someone else out as well. I'm actually going to go with Ogbonna, which, although they didn't pressure us too much, I never thought they were going to score 4 goals. Everything they did throw at us, he did seem to head and clear away. He's a true centre-back. He's a true defender. And I thought he kept everything calm. Because of Ogbonna, I was never worried today, and I think, bearing in mind everything that the attacking players did, which we've already discussed, that's a great thing. To attack is fantastic, but then to know you're not going to concede at the back is also a real bonus, and I think Ogbonna gave us that today.
Mike, individual people.
I thought can I quickly say, as bad as Southampton were, Tadic was excellent for them. It was like their entire lineup was like rubbish, 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 Tadic, rubbish, rubbish, rubbish. Do you know what I mean? It was like, he was very good for them, but he had no one to pass to, so I ruled him out. For us, yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. I thought Masuaku was excellent, wasn't he? Obviously, Arnautovic, Mario had probably his best game for us. I agree with you. Fernandes was very, very good as well. And also for me, I thought Declan Rice had a point to prove, and I thought he played really well. He shows such composure, and Cresswell had one of his better games in that left side of the middle three as well, or the central three as well. So yeah, but it's hard to pick a player who didn't have a good game. Even Kyoto did. So.
Well, I was about to say, hold it. I thought Kyoto was superb today. I seen a centre midfielder. Honestly, I thought he was brilliant. He was brilliant. Kyoto was brilliant. I seen a centre midfielder in Kyoto I've not seen for a long. He was passing. He was dominating physically, but. I don't want to be too negative, right? But there's a part of me that's trying to remember it was Southampton today. They are 18 for a reason, and we have a lot tougher fixtures coming up. But this win was just monstrous, and credit to everyone. Every player out there did well today. The manager got it right.
Yeah,
he got it right today. I'm not his biggest fan. I'm possibly one of his biggest critics, but he got it right today. Gonzo, man of match time, and any final thoughts from yourself?
Yeah, man of match Arnautovic. I think it's hard to give it anywhere else. He was that extra bit of quality that was the difference between the teams. Final thoughts. I'm not going to give it to West Ham because we discuss West Ham constantly, because that's what we do on this channel. It's actually going to be for Southampton, and it's unfortunate. I think Southampton are down. I think that's it for them. I think it's going to be very hard for them to recover, and I am sorry for that, because it's my second favourite away game after Crystal Palace. It's something I look forward to each season, is going to Southampton away. It's nice to travel to. It's a nice club. Also, they're the only ones that do. Everyone does 30 quid for away fan season tickets. They do 20 quid, so they're a good club. But as I said in the preview, I think they've sold one player too many. In Van Dijk as a final nail in the coffin. I think they're down, and I just think if you go to the trouble of sacking your manager, which they did, then be brave. Go and do something that's going to make a difference. Go and hire the geezer at Brentford who's playing this expensive football, or whatever.
You forgot who he hired.
Sorry? Not at all, but I've discussed that once. I discussed Moyes so many times. Anyone that watches this knows what I think about Moyes. To sack your manager and then go and hire Mark Hughes, regardless of what happened. Was it Wigan in the Cup? I think it might have been. Today, as transpired, Mark Hughes might take 2 clubs down this season, and I think if you're brave enough to sack your manager, go and then make a brave appointment. Don't be brave enough to sack your manager, then try and what you think make is a safe appointment. Unfortunately, I think Southampton are down, so I think it's West Brom, I think it's Southampton, one other. Hopefully it's not us. As I checked with the league table, you said we were 14th now. Another win is going to really help us. So yeah, and Marco Arnautovic, final thoughts. Southampton, it's all over.
Do you agree with that? And what's your final thoughts? And of course, your man of the match.
Well, first of all, I agree with you on Southampton. They were poor today. It was quite funny when Gonzo was saying he couldn't see him scoring 4 in the second half. I can't see him scoring 4 in the rest of the season if they play like that. I mean, they were really poor. But I thought for us the important thing was, after what happened at the Burnley game, there was a real consensus. I made a joke about the memo, but just people were really behind the team. There was really voluble support for the team. And I thought that was really important. If we're going to protest, let's just do it outside of the game time. Yeah, so let's just make sure we stay up. And I think we played with real intensity today. And I thought the crowd were a part of that. I thought that was part of the reason why the players responded so well. Man of the match, I'm sorry to be boring and give it to the same player. Gonzo just did, but I'm going to have to give it to Arnautovic. He's that little bit of class, as you said, that we have that other teams don't have.
Yeah, he's the difference in staying up. So if Southampton had him today, I think they might have. Well, actually, I don't know, because I thought all our players did really, at least a 7 out of 10 minimum. Even Noble's leadership today was on show, the way he was bossing people about and that. Arnautovic gets my man of match's default as well. It was tempting to give it to a Bon actually, especially in the second half. He made a couple of blocks that were so key that'll get overlooked. They won't be on match of the day. So unless you watch the match, you're not going to know about them. But they were so key.
Yeah. We're almost getting used to him being that good as well, aren't we?
He's incredible. But what I will say, but sort of comes off Mike's comment about the crowd. I enjoyed myself today. Today's one of the first times.
It's a good day. It's fun.
Inside the ground, from start to finish, we were bouncing about, singing and stuff. And I was with good friends and that as well. But we were smiling, we were laughing. Hugo come on. We thought, oh, here he is. Finally, we're seeing Hugo. And he took his own through to him, and he headed it back and went out for a throw like 3 yards away. But we all just went, we were all able to have. We were able to have a laugh at Joe Hart catching the ball. We were able to mug off Tadic and Redmond in that on the touchline when they're coming near corners. And you could see when we were singing Rice, Rice, Baby, we could see Declan Rice smiling. Everyone was having a good time. It's the first time I've enjoyed myself in a long time. And tell you what, we're away to enjoy ourselves further. That's 3 man of matches for Mark Arnautovic. Let us know in the comments below who your man of match is, what you thought, why West Ham won 3-0. We're 14th in the table, unbelievably. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new, and we will see you later.